Welcome to the Purpose for Life podcast. I'm your host, Suzanne Roberts. I'm the author of It's Deeper Than That and the founder of The Great Reconnection. And I am thrilled to have with us today Becky Yee. I met Becky in New York City when, as authors, we were having our book and our picture of ourselves up in Times Square, and Becky was taking pictures of us, and also at an event we were at together. And I had the great fortune of taking a walk with Becky and learning about her, and was so inspired. So I'm so excited for you to get to listen to her today. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So Becky, when we were walking and I asked you, what is it that fascinated you about taking images, and what did you see in the image? And you shared with me your life story. Would you take us on a journey through your life so we can understand what motivated you?
Sure. I went to many different schools when I was a young kid. I went to three different, in 2 years of junior high school, I went to three or four different junior high schools. I only went to one high school, but I went to maybe four kindergarten, like four elementary schools. So I went to a lot of different schools and I was always a new kid. And I always felt like, okay, I have to make friends really quickly and I have to be perfectly fine with saying goodbye to them in a year because my parents are probably going to move somewhere. So I became a photographer and I've always loved photography for the fact that it preserves an ephemeral, fleeting moment of us sharing together, and I can take it with me and I can touch it. It makes a moment, an ephemeral moment, a tangible item that I can just put in my pocket and walk away with it and be happy for that connection. So the photos that I take, I always try to make heart to heart connections and share a moment, because that to me is the meaning of life. Like, what do we do? It's like I make a heart to heart connection with you and I share a moment. And that's something that no one can ever take away from me. And that's what makes my life rich. And that's what I really love about photography and connecting and meeting people and traveling around the world.
And you've had the opportunity to travel and photograph
Yeah.
many, many different things, right?
Yeah. I've traveled to over 35 countries. I've photographed presidents of the United States. I've photographed, I worked with the Kennedy family for a couple of years. Tons of people, Nancy Pelosi, Stephen Colbert, Rosie Perez. I think I just photographed Mark Hamill, which is kind of like a little bit of a dream for me from Star Wars, from the Star Wars people. I got to meet Mark Hamill. I got like a selfie with Mark Hamill. I was really excited.
That's great.
And Magic Johnson, but also everyone that's in front of my camera is a magical person. Like, in order for them to be standing in front of my camera, they had to live some life. And let's face it, life isn't always a straight line. And no matter what you see in front of you, that person may have been through a lot in order for them to be standing in front of you. So you may be judging again about this whole full spectrum of who a person is. That person is standing in front of my camera, but there's so much more than that person standing in front of my camera. It's 40 years previously, 60 years previously of life that they lived that has shaped them and molded them to the person that is standing in front of me. And I love to see all of that. I love everyone is very beautiful and soulful in their own way. And I hope to capture that when I photograph them.
That is so beautiful. When you're with someone, do you work to create that heart connection with someone before you take their picture? And how do you, when you're looking through your lens, how do you begin to see that soulfulness emerge?
I mean, it's something like when I look through my lens, it's something like their heart actually opens up and they trust me. And you make it really, you can feel it coming through the lens. And a lot of times when you're with celebrities, they're used to getting their photo taken and they can have kind of a wall in front of them. And it's really hard. But sometimes you've got 1 minute to break through, get them to trust you and say, hey, I'm a cool person. I see you. I think one time I was talking to someone, and I mean, look, celebrities, when you photograph celebrities, you get 1 minute. There's usually they have a 15-minute interviews with the video, and then you photograph them for 1 minute, but you're like 2, 4 hours setting up, and then you got 1 minute to like shoot a cover of something, or it's very stressful. But I think if you're just authentic and real, and you give people space where they can be themselves, and that you can also be yourself. The more authentic you are, the more authentic the person is, like your mirror. Like you're giving them license to be themselves when you yourself are yourself.
You talked about in the very beginning this ephemeral moment, right? To
Mhm.
capture. And what you're doing in that 1 minute is that very same thing, but
Yeah.
it's a thing that we need to be doing as human beings with each
Yeah.
other. While you're
Yes.
photographing, you're doing a sociological experiment for how to be
Yeah.
better human beings together.
Yes.
Right? It's really, really powerful because you have
Yeah.
1 minute to
One
disarm
minute.
yourself
Yeah. I
to
mean, the
right?
thing is, what I always love, like, I love the whole thing. Like when you get to know, like if I'm photographing a celebrity that I've never met before, like I usually do like a deep dive. I'll Google them, I'll find out their childhood likes, that things that they hate, like anything that I can talk to them about. One time I didn't really know anything about this celebrity because I was a photographer in Japan, and he was like a big celebrity in Japan, but I had no idea because I didn't grow up in Japan. I was just living there and working. And I read that he recently shot a movie in Taiwan and that he likes speaking Chinese. He's Japanese, but he likes speaking Chinese. And I'm Chinese American, but I speak Japanese, right? So I'm speaking to him in Japanese, and he was like hating on me. He was like, basically, it was a crazy shoot because they were doing, like they do every 15 minutes, they're doing a different shoot, right? And the shoot and they didn't feed him at all. It's like 8 at nighttime. No one on set has gotten any food, right? And I'm photographing him in front of his favorite food, and he can't eat it because we need it for the photos. So he's sitting there with like chopsticks in his hands, like angry, angry. And then I was like, "Hey, I heard you were in Taiwan. I'm Chinese." Like, what? You're Chinese? Because we're speaking in Japanese. He just assumed I was Japanese. And then he's like, started speaking to me in Chinese. Like, okay, let's pull it back. I'm Chinese American. I actually don't speak Chinese, but I'm fluent in Japanese and English, and that's it. Right. And he was laughing, and like he went from being like closed off to like just being like my best friend. And like, and even the makeup artist, I wound up becoming friends with the makeup artist on that set. And she's like, "Oh my God, how did you even do that? He is so closed. He's like a closed book." And I was like, I just get them talking about something that they love. People love talking about themselves and things that they like. So if you can find something that they like that makes them like joyful, like it'll be great. And that's anyone. Even like, you know, you can anyone I photograph, I treat them with the same amount of respect that I would treat the president of the United States. I honor them, I honor their journey, everything that they went through to get here in front of my camera, and I hope to capture their story in 1 second. They've had their whole life to tell their story. When you're an author, you have a whole book. You've got hundreds of pages to tell your story. When you have a photograph, you have 1 second, 1 second to tell your story. How can you tell your story in 1 second? And
Can you?
yeah, that's what I like to do.
Yes,
That's what
thank
I
you.
enjoy doing.
And you were talking before we got on about the multiple dimensions of people,
Yes.
and talk a little bit more about that.
When we look at someone like, okay, you're an author. That's all I see you as. You're a successful businesswoman. That's all I see you as. They don't see you as a mom, a wife, a lover, you know? So there's like things that you have to understand. These people have other lives besides the life you're interacting with them in. And we all have different sides to us. And when we're around people, they push and pull different parts of our personality to the front or they push it to the back. So, what I like to try and do, what if we just gave space for everyone to be the full spectrum of who they are? Like, so you get a much more holistic view of the person, much more soulful, a much more bigger understanding of that person. Like if someone's really irritable, you don't know, maybe they had a miscarriage and they're at work and they can't talk about it. Like, how are you? Like, I'm fine. I'm fine. No, I'm not fine, but I cannot tell you I just had a miscarriage and I have to be here at work right now and get this work done. Right. But what if, like, I feel like lots of female entrepreneurs, they're willing to allow that person to have an emotional side and a business side. I believe that you can get through your professional and you can do the job well, but I also believe that you're a human being, that you hurt, you breathe, things go on in your life that I have no understanding of. But I'll give you the space to just be. Like one time I was literally in Paris. I was shooting in Paris and I'd just broken up with like an 8-year relationship. And I was upset. Like I cry. I'm a water sign. I cry all the time. And she's like, "So how's it going?" And she knew that I broke up with this guy. And so I was like, I cried for about 5 minutes. She's like, "Okay, now let's get to work." Like she's like, "All right, yep, cry it out, girl, but we're gonna get to work right now. Let's go." You know? But she allowed me, like I didn't feel bad about being vulnerable at that moment. Sometimes I feel like be strong, like my partner, my fiance never cries. He never cries. And I was like, how do you do that? I just never cry. And I was just like, what? You know, I'm sure you're sad sometimes. I'm sure upset. Why can't you just, you know, embrace that side to you and not be ashamed of it? Like, love our shadow. If I realized the more I loved my weaknesses and my vulnerabilities, I was also able to acknowledge and appreciate my strengths and all my talents. Lots of times we like have a tendency, this is one thing from decades of being a photographer. Every single person that gets in front of my camera, when I compliment them, they deny, deflect, or reject the compliment immediately. That's the first reaction. I was like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Oh, I'm so old. Oh, my wrinkles. Oh, I'm so bloated. Oh, I feel so fat today. The first thing you do is insult yourself. And I want to do this like whole thing. And I think I want to do like on retreats, like a thank you. It's true, where people just compliment you. And all you could say is, thank you. It's true.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And just nothing else. No deflections. No excuses. Like, oh, it really wasn't me. It's my team that did it. Like, of course, you have to be kind, but there's also, I notice it more in women
Mm-hmm.
that they really tend to deflect, reject, and neglect the compliments that are giving to them. I wish that people would realize that they're awesome, beautiful, amazing, incredible, magical beings of light.
And I was going to ask you, sort of answered this a little bit, but I'd like you to dig in a little deeper. How do you give yourself the space inside of you to accept all of your different dimensions? And are you able to receive
Yes,
compliments?
yes. I feel like you practice and preach what you need to hear the most, right? So yes, when I was younger, I really couldn't take a compliment. I always say, "Oh no, it's not me," or "Oh no, I don't look good today," and so I have to just. It took me time to realize the reason I'm doing that is because I'm denying many different sides of myself, not my strengths as well as my weaknesses. When I refuse to look at, hey, I didn't do that too well, or hey, I'm really vulnerable, or hey, I need some help. I also realized that I wasn't able to take compliments as well either. That was something I thought was really interesting. I really noticed the minute I said, wow, I'm really stuck. I need some help. I'm having a hard time here. And I acknowledged my challenges or the things that I wasn't so natural in, that I also embrace my strength and also recognize, I mean, this is something completely different. I'm also a marathon runner, and like it was nothing for me. I'm a very, very sports person. I've done this martial art called kendo like for 30 plus years, and I was just always very good with my physical things and with my body. So it's just easy. It's like, of course, I'll just, you know, practice for 3 months and run a marathon. Do you know what I mean? I've never ran before, or like I could just do it, right? My normal fitness level is running like a 10-mile Tough Mudder. Like I can run a Tough Mudder without like even doing anything. That's my normal fitness level. So when I was injured, when I was going perimenopausal, I got lots of injuries. My joints, my everything was like much more brittle. It's easier to get injured. And I ran the Chicago Marathon injured, really injured. And for the first time in my life, I got a cramp. I've never gotten
Wow.
muscle cramp. Like that's how what the level of fitness that I was. I didn't really get cramps. And so I was like, oh my God. And I realized I was terrible and I was beating myself up about being bad at something. And that taught me it's okay to be bad at something and still enjoy doing it. It's okay. You don't have to be perfect and great at everything. Because once I recognized that weakness or that challenge, like, okay, hey, I'm not the best runner, or I'm a pretty bad runner, but that was my fifth marathon. I've run five marathons, four majors, and I did it with ease, like nothing. Like, of course, I'm going to finish the marathon, but that was the first time I ever thought. I was at the Chicago Marathon, which is like the easiest of, it's like the flattest marathon. It's where everyone gets their personal best, right? It was my slowest marathon. When we embrace our weaknesses, when I was at the Chicago Marathon, and I realized I may not, for the first time in my life, I thought, oh my God, I may not be able to finish this marathon. It never even occurred to me that maybe I can't finish a marathon. Of course, I'm going to finish the marathon, right? And I was shocked, and I realized I embraced that. I was like, you know what, Becky, it's okay. It's okay that you're not very good at this marathon right now. It's fine. But I was able to finish. I finished like 5.5 hours. I was like limping, like I was really injured. But I did finish it, and then I realized, hey, running a marathon is pretty hard. And I never thought about that. Like my first marathon, I just ran it. You know, I trained. I read a book my first marathon in 16 weeks, and I ran a marathon on the Great Wall of China, you know, and
You
it was
did?
nothing. Oh yeah, that was my first marathon. It was a really hard marathon. It was on the Great Wall of China, and that was it. But I never appreciated that I did that.
Interesting.
I was like, oh, can anyone do it? It's so easy. Like I didn't think anything good about myself because I did a marathon. I was like, hey, it's pretty hard running a marathon. I never realized that before because it came so easy to me. So as I realized, hey, when I see these weaknesses or challenges or whatever you want to call it, and I embraced it and I don't beat myself up about it, like I'm so bad, I'm terrible. What's wrong with me? I can't believe I'm the worst marathon runner in the world. You know, like all these messages that we have in our brain, I was able to appreciate my accomplishments and things that I have done also. And I think everyone should think about that. Like, you know, the more we're able to embrace our darkness, the more of our lightness we're able to embrace too. So, because we understand ourselves. You know, when I'm very strong and I'm a tough negotiator, I realize when I'm alone, I could be crying in the fetal position, and that's okay
Right.
too.
All those things exist, right?
I think of myself as like a circle. Like I love circles. I have like tattoos of circles all over my body. And like, I think of ourselves as a circle, and you draw a line in the middle of the circle, and the above line is what we can see in the tangible world, and under it is it exists, but we can't always see it, especially when we're like really women out in the business world. We have to be like tough. We're like, you know, we're machines, right? No one sees us when we're like, oh my God, am I gonna do this? This is so crazy. I can't believe this is you face these insecurities like I can't do it,
Hmm.
right? That's the equivalent. Like it both exists. And we don't realize that everyone goes through that too.
It's so true. What's it like for you to have your picture taken?
It's really weird. It's like I'm so used. I'm like, because I'm like, just relax, just be yourself. And I'm like, like a robot or something. I'm like, what do I do with my hands?
You have to
No.
have you taking your own picture.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I'm pretty good. Like, because like I'm comfortable as long as you're comfortable in your own skin.
Right.
You will never take a bad photo. You will never take a bad photo if you are 100% comfortable in your own skin because you, as you are at this moment, are beautiful, you know? And you just have to also recognize and accept that I'm beautiful as I am right now, as I am. And like I think of everything. Like my if I have some like a little cellulite in my stomach, is like that was a piece of cheesecake, and I love cheesecake. I'm gonna like I'm gonna appreciate that roll right there.
What's
Yeah. And
kendo?
oh, kendo is a Japanese full contact martial art. It's like full contact fencing. It's like a combative exercise. It's really pretty like I guess I grew up with it, so but it's pretty hardcore looking. You like kill each other. It's and but it's good in a good way. It's in a very, very kind of elegant way. It's like basically it's fighting, and I like to fight. Like you look at me, okay? See, I am super violent and aggressive. Like when I play kendo, I'm like, even though especially when I was younger, I was really aggressive. It's like pushing people on, and I'm short. And I'll be playing some guy 6'4". I'm like, I'm gonna kill you, kick your butt right now. And they're like, oh man, Becky's gonna kick my butt. And then like, yeah, it's funny because again, like multiple personalities, people that know me from Kendo, they don't know me as like a fashion and music photographer. So one time I went to like an event, it was like New York Fashion Week, and I'm all like, got like a beautiful dress, my hair, my makeup is so pretty. And I went to like a music concert with like a mutual friend, and one of the people in Kendo, he introduced me. Oh, this is my sensei, Becky. And his roommate's like, wow, you must be so happy. Your sensei's so beautiful. And he goes, I'm terrified of her. And I was so shocked. I'm like, what? That's me, but that's me being nice, actually. I can be way nastier than that. And he's like, oh.
Well, it's so interesting listening to you because the one that cries easily and the one that will kill, they
Yeah, yeah,
all
yeah,
of that together. It's just fascinating to listen
yeah.
to. What do you think you've harnessed from kendo that you've taken into your everyday life?
Well, I think Kendall also is heart to heart communications. You were like,
Interesting.
me and you. Like you were like and you're seeing that person's heart, you're seeing their soul, and I love that. Like the kendo, really big kendo masters did the whole thing, like Jedi Knights from Star Wars, it all comes from kendo. So kendo is like Jedi Knight training. So like they really read your soul, and
Mm,
it's beautiful also to be read because they
interesting.
see you. They really see you. Like the high level senseis, I will like forever love this one Nanadan sensei. He's a seventh degree sensei. And he goes, Becky, ono no power da ne. I was like, ooh, he's like, Becky, you are a strong part of women's energy. I'm like, yes. You know? He's like, my kendo is very like women's kendo. And like in anything again, like when I'm upset, like again, like when I was upset about some guy breaking up with me, like 1 second, like you kind of bow to your opponent. I bowed. The teacher looked at me 1 second. Becky, what's wrong? I can see it. I can sense your aura, your energy. There's something wrong. I was like, I want to talk about it. No, let's just play kendo. But what it was is that I just broken up with someone, and I just wasn't feeling good.
Mm.
So that's the other thing. Like when you were in meetings with people and someone bites your head off, they're not really biting your head off about that. There's something else in their life that they maybe can't digest or deal with, and they're just taking it out on you.
We're
So
going to have to begin to wind down today. I feel like I could listen to you for a long, long time. It's very fascinating. Thank you for sharing yourself here with us today. So many
well,
facets to you. Uh,
thank you for having me.
You're welcome. This podcast is called Purpose for Life. And what do you think the purpose for life is?
I mean, again, be the light you want to see in the universe. So the more you want to see in the universe, if you can be that example, like I think, okay, purpose of life. My photo studio is called Color Wheel Studios, and I believe that everyone has their own unique color that adds to the palette of this world. So whatever color you are, you could be periwinkle blue, you could be whatever, you could be, you know, white on white. It doesn't matter, but share your colors with the world and share your palette and the unique you that you bring into the world. Share it with the world and make the world a better place. There's a really great words that I love. It's called Shuhari, keep, break, leave. It means keep and learn from all your ancestors and everything that came before you, then break from it, and then make something new and leave that. So that becomes the new keep for the next generation, like your
Beautiful.
legacy.
I love that. Thank you.
Shuhari.
I was going to ask you what's one last thing you'd like to leave, but I'd like to just have you leave that because that's a good place to stop here. How can people get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me through my website, which is Color Wheel Studios with an S.com. And no job is too big or too small. I love photographing people and I love travel. So if there's travel photos, that's even the better because I've been to 35 countries on assignment, commercial and editorial. And I just like to share people's stories, like again, to really see like soulful photos, like really get their whole story in 1 second.
Nice. That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here today. I actually would love to have you back again and ask more questions. And I'm sure our listeners will get so much out of it. Thank you for being with us today on the Purpose for Life podcast. I'm your host, Suzanne Roberts, and I'm the author of It's Deeper Than That and the founder of the Great Reconnection. Subscribe, and we look forward to have you listening to more. Thank you.